Fallout 76 just got what is its largest update so far. I made a full video on this yesterday if you guys are interested in checking that out. Although, to go along with this update, we got several very interesting pieces of information. Much of this from data mines or corresponding to certain leaks that we have seen in the past, but also in today's Inside the Vault article, Bethesda has shared quite a bit of news around what you could expect for the future of Fallout 76. And in this video, I'm going to be compiling pretty much all of that and talking about it. And for the purposes of this video, I'm going to mostly go in chronological order. First talking about the stuff that is soon, and then moving on to some of the stuff that's a bit further away. If you guys do enjoy, you can leave a like or subscribe. There's a lot of really cool content coming with Fallout 76. Bethesda's E3 conference is only 1 month away, and I'm going to be covering just about all of it. Earlier today, Fallout 76 was actually taken down for maintenance. As far as the nature of that, Bethesda reports that it was actually to increase server stability. Following the update, I and many other people noticed that you were just crashing a lot. I crashed 6 or 7 times in the first day of the update, which is a lot more than I typically do. Bethesda mentions how there was no gameplay changes and thus there is no patch notes, although I did hear that a new duping glitch was reported to them and apparently was addressed in this update. Obviously, I'm not going to give you the exact details of that duping glitch because I don't want you to be duping, but either way, a huge shout out to Bethesda for this one. I've been pretty critical of them for having these updates break certain things, then taking 2 weeks sometimes to actually fix it. Even if this just was an improvement to server stability, it definitely indicates an improvement for them putting this out just 48 hours after the issue originally arose. Now hopefully this is a trend that continues. Beyond that though, we also got details around some of Fallout 76's future DLC content. Right now in game, as added in with the latest patch, you do have the legendary scrapping machines. With these, you can input legendary items of any kind, and it will give you a new type of currency, that known as legendary script. Well, coming on May 16th is the legendary vendor herself, otherwise known as the purveyor. This is going to be where you could spend this new currency of legendary script. By trading with her, you can gain access to a random legendary item. It's not totally random though. You are able to control 2 variables, as you can see right here. You can control which type of item, so whether it's an armor, a melee weapon, or a ranged weapon, and how many stars it will have, so 1, 2, or 3 stars or legendary effects applied to it. Although outside of that, it is all random, so which kind of weapon or armor, and of course, what the actual legendary effects will be. And as you can see by this breakdown, as you get some of the more desirable goods, the price also does go up. There also is this pretty interesting final choice of Merg's mystery pick. Yeah, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Through data mining, we could actually see the internal listing for this is legendary items, special, all items. And I'm guessing this will just give you a random 3-star legendary. You just don't know if it's a melee weapon, ranged weapon, or an armor. And then finally, this new vendor is going to appear in the Berkeley Springs train station. Some people have already glitched in there and shown video of the shop itself. And yeah, that's kind of the whole thing. So some people are actually kind of upset around this. Although if you have been watching this channel, you'll know I pretty much told you exactly how this was going to work. It's kind of a randomized slot machine-esque thing, but it still is a system where you could get a crappy item or a great item that has bad legendary effects. It also is one of those systems where you will have to spend more than what you could get out of it. You spend 100 script on a legendary and you almost certainly won't be able to scrap that for the same amount of script as it cost. But again, this is exactly what I was expecting. And I personally think it's going to be a pretty good addition to the endgame of Fallout 76, give you another outlet to legendary farming. And hey, gambling is always kind of fun, and I think this is a minor way of doing that in game, and it doesn't involve microtransactions or anything sketchy, so I welcome it. Outside of that, we also are getting patch 9.5 as well as Arc Coast Pharma later this month. This is going to be coming out on May 21st, which is a Tuesday. This is going to be the next update to the game. It seems like when the legendary vendor goes live, there isn't any planned bug fixes to also go live with it. They don't share too much as to what the patch itself will do for patch 9.5, but we do know quite a bit about Project Paradise, otherwise known as Arc Coast Pharma. This is going to be a new dungeon that we have seen in the files of Fallout 76. It'll seemingly take you under Arc Coast Pharma. That's an existing in-game location, and it's a high-level dungeon that actually has a repeatable event. That's the naming Project Paradise. We know quite a bit about this via data mining and the story and lore around it. I'm not going to spoil the lore part in this video. I will have a link in the little by if you want to hear more around that. But as far as the actual event itself, it's going to involve actually protecting certain animals, taking them to their habitats, and injecting them with serums. All along the way, seemingly other creatures will be attacking you, and you'll have to defend those animals against some pretty tough enemies. It's been described as a high-level dungeon, but this one actually has an event that you can do over and over again, not just a new location in the game. Through data mining, we actually know other things. The stim pack diffuser item, which is basically going to be a stim pack that will heal your entire team, you will get through this event. It currently is listed for one of the challenges in Fallout 76, added in with the Pioneer Scouts questline, so seemingly that challenge will not be completable until May 21st when this does go live, and it looks like you'll unlock that bear claw weapon we have been seeing through this. And there are also several chems that also look like they'll be added in with this, although it's not totally clear if these will just be the chems you use during the event or if you'll actually earn them and they'll be usable outside of it. One of them is actually pretty good, improving charisma, luck, and improving gun accuracy for 5 minutes. Even further, at some point Bethesda mentions display cases are coming, although they won't be ready by patch 9.5, so probably in the weeks following patch 9.5. And through data mining, some of the display cases we can see are the weapon racks from Fallout 4 and things like general display cases. But then also with this update, we got a pretty big update to the Atomic Shop, and I think this is notable based off what kind of content was added. We're getting some of the typical stuff. There's actually a lot of backpacks on the way. Of course, backpacks just went live with the latest update. There's already one skin available for them, but as you can see from the background, it looks like they're planning a lot of freaking skins for this backpack. And many of these actually change the overall design and model of the backpack, which is pretty interesting. It definitely makes the skin a lot more appealing. It also looks like we're getting a Raider decoration pack, which I know a lot of people have been asking for more Raider or post-apocalyptic themed things. I think you guys will definitely like this one, as it is right up that alley. But also other things, like these really cool looking Mothman masks. One of them being almost more realistic in a way, while the other one is almost more akin to what you actually find in game as the Mothman. These are pretty freaking cool, and I could definitely see people wanting to spend money on that. But if that wasn't all enough, also more tinfoil outfit based things, including a hat as well as a regular outfit. As someone who has been wearing the tinfoil hat for literally like months now, definitely will be picking these up and checking them out. And although even outside of that, there are several other things that have shown up that are particularly cool, there's one thing that has gotten people kind of concerned around the future of the Atomic Shop. Just recently, we got repair kits in Fallout 76 as the first pay-to-win feature. It was breaking Bethesda's original commitment to maintain a cosmetic-only Atomic Shop, although since their implementation, it's kind of blown over. Most users who were pretty angry about it before have moved on and are enjoying the game again, but it looks like there might be more in this category on the way. You might remember when Bethesda originally announced the repair kits, they hinted at this idea of just a larger category of utility items coming to Fallout 76, specifically on the Atomic Shop. The repair kits seemingly marking the first utility item you could pay money for, but now through data mining we could see 2 more that could potentially also fall into this category, one being refrigerators and the second being a scavenging station. And for those curious, the ATX prefix that you can see here is Bethesda's pretty much universal way of referring to the Atomic Shop. As far as the function of these two, that's not clear through data mining. You can only see the file names, although I would imagine the refrigerators prolong the duration of food, maybe make it so it takes longer for it to spoil, although the scavenging stations are a bit more elusive. As Bethesda announced the repair kits, they mentioned several things, such as ammo and food converters, the ability to send scrap to your stash, and also refrigerators, so it could be one of the other things that were mentioned there. So now before everyone goes off the rails, there certainly is 2 ways of looking at this. The approach many have taken to is that Bethesda is going to offer these for free just via the Atomic Shop. For whatever reason, they've actually been doing this with several items. Rather than just giving it to every player, you actually have to go onto the Atomic Shop and purchase it, although there's no cost associated with it. We saw this just recently with personal terminals, a brand new item, and even other things like some of the posters for the DLC quests, as well as some new emotes that have been added. Although the belief I personally subscribe to is that this isn't going to be that, and I don't even think the evidence really points to that, as the alternate view that this will probably work pretty similar to repair kits. You can get one version of it in the improved repair kit for free just by playing the game, or alternatively pay real world money to gain access to the basic repair kit. It's slightly worse, but just a lot easier to get. 50 atoms isn't a ton, and it's a lot easier than taking down a Scorch Beast Queen. I suspect the scavenging stations and refrigerators will occupy a similar role. And I think the biggest evidence of that is just what Bethesda said. If you look back to their original post on the repair kits as they officially announced them, they say repair kits were a popular request that we wanted to get into players' hands. We also felt we could try out something new with these, both in-game and in the Atomic Shop. As we look to the future, we're exploring ways we can bring other community-driven ideas to the game as well, such as refrigerators for camps, ammo and food converters, and even the ability to send scrap to your stash without having to head home. Repair kits are our first attempt at a utility item like this. So now a month later, as the refrigerator pops up with the Atomic Shop prefix, I think I'm just connecting basic dots here. That this will be another addition to the Atomic Shop with a certain cost associated with it. And I think it makes a lot of sense from Bethesda's perspective also. Although there was backlash to the repair kits following the announcement, when they were actually implemented, it was way more subtle and muted. A lot of people kind of got over it pretty quickly. And now, just a couple of weeks later, most people are just singing Bethesda's praises around the latest update. You have to imagine whatever initial backlash they got, the additional income they'll generate from this new category of utility items is probably far more worth it. And it seemingly isn't making a ton of players quit the game. I don't personally know of anyone who stopped playing the game due to the repair kit's implementation, so to me it seems really likely that this will just continue. Although again, I did want to point out both sides of this. Maybe it ends up just being a new free edition, as some people are hoping. I personally don't take that viewpoint, but either way, time will tell as we eventually see an official announcement from Bethesda around these, if we ever do. Maybe it'll just never end up getting implemented. Either way, that's pretty much going to wrap it up as far as some of the new information or leaks we have around Fallout 76. Hopefully you did find this video informative. There's actually a bit more I do want to touch on, but I wanted to cover it in a separate video because I think it just deserved a separate video. But until then, as always again, I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.